Welcome to the first part in this series, Web 2.0 technology that I'm so using this school year. Today we're talking about a website called engrade.com. It's an online grade book. So all you gotta do is open up the URL, sign up, it's free, and register, get yourself a username and password. So you've already done that, go ahead and log in, and when you do, this is the first thing you'll see. This is very straightforward. We'll go to create new class. Give your class an appropriate title. That's not appropriate. That's appropriate. Now it's prompting me this script to text there because I've already obviously done this. I went back and deleted it just to familiarize myself with the program. School year 2009-2010, and it is the first grading period. Now I'm going to enter my list of students. What most of us will probably end up doing is copying and pasting or downloading from our school server. I'm just going to go ahead and I've got that ready to go right here. I'll just paste. Now I went ahead and put them in the order. These are fictitious, of course, but I would always put them in the order that I physically have them in my actually paper-bound grade book. You notice a 4-digit number at the end. You'll have to make this up for all of your students. It could be 4, it could be 6. 4 will suffice. This will be their identification number in your actual grade book, and they'll need this, or even you'll need this, depending how you decide to do that, to give the student their username and password so they can access their grades. Okay, we'll go down. We got grade book. It gives you this pre-scripted percentiles, which are pretty classic in terms of letter grades. If you're working with an MYP or IB scale, and say your grades are based on 10 or 20, you want to click on this one right here. Or if you are working on a non-traditional letter grade percentiles, like a 92 being an A, that would be the lowest grade, which would constitute an A, and say maybe like an 84 or 5, either way would be a B. But I'm going to go ahead and click on this because this is the scheme we're actually using at my school. Scroll down. So since I clicked on this percentile group, I need to go ahead and designate some categories. If I don't, that means every grade has the same value, obviously, and it doesn't, because my homework isn't quite the same as let's say a project. Now I need to go back up here and let them know that I'm going to use these categories, and they have different values, different percentiles. Something like test. That might not work. That might work. And participation. It's a whopping 10, I believe. And something we do a lot in my class, blog writing. Now, drop a low score? Absolutely not. It's your grade. You earned it. You keep it. Sort by students. Like I said, I went ahead and put them in the order I wanted them in, so I'm not going to mess with that. Sort assignments by, this is really irrelevant, but I think I usually I like the oldest first. And you can either round up or round down. I'd like to see the actual decimal point. I want to know what tenths they have. If it's an 81.5 or 99.2. And of course you definitely want to make sure that yes is clicked there, because that's the whole benefit of this program. Parents can log in and see their student averages. Save that. There we go. So this is the actual class grade book with the assignments, which we don't have yet. These are our students. These are the ID numbers and their averages. So we'll go ahead and start off by adding an assignment. We'll make this Taste of Salt Vocab 1. Don't forget to pick which category it is. It is homework. We'll make this due the 22nd of August. Now I picked the percentile, so everything's out of 100. Calendar, absolutely. It's really nice because when your parents do log in, they can click on this calendar option. They can see what assignments are out there and what days they are due. And if there's any supplemental documentation, you can just go ahead and find that on your hard drive, and you can upload it, and it stays on the engrade.com website. Very nice. And this, assuming you have some very independent learners, can go ahead and add any sort of directions or annotations you might need to complete that homework assignment, which is nice because if in theory someone's absent, they can go ahead and come to the site, print off any information they need, read the directions, and hopefully have that done by the time they get to class. Now, assuming I went ahead and took this homework up and everyone received a grade, and let's just say they're all very much academic all-stars. If they all got 100, I can just hit copy all. If most of them got 100, say, yeah, Hagar's pretty nice. B's not horrible. You're getting a B. Scrappy do, Scrappy don't. I think Scrappy don't definitely didn't do. That's confusing. His homework. And just to mix it up a little bit. Good. So we have our students, ID numbers, letter grade, percentiles, and the points they got. Makes sense. Now, we have our calendar, and there's the assignment. We'd have multiple assignments. Click on it. Directions. And if you had uploaded any other documentation, the link would be here to either download or to print. Now, very important, let's go to students. There's two options here. What you can do is you can copy and paste or print the access code flyers. You could cut those up and give these individually to each student, and they would go to the Engrade website. They would register, create a username and a password. But I think it's most beneficial for you if you just go ahead and register them real quickly. That way you can give them a username that you made up, and that way you also know their password. Now what we'll do now, we'll go ahead and log off, and then we're going to log back into the system from the student perspective so we can see what the students' grades look like. Now once you provide your student with their access code, they go to the Engrade website, they register, they create a username and a password, or you could opt to provide them with a username and password, and that's probably a better idea. That way if they have issues logging in, you can go and test it out for yourself. Now we log in, it's the English grade 8 class, shows us his letter grade and percentile. We can click on the class, and for the itemized grades, of course we only have the one homework grade. It tells us the date it was due. His grade are the total possible points. And what I do like about the category weights here, it shows the percentile for each, so parents, for those who are looking at the math, it's intelligible. It has an attendance option here if you want to let Fred's parents know how many days he is in class. How about that? And there's citizenship, which I think we all know what that's about. Now, like all technology, which is free, it's not perfect. I've been reading up on Engrade, and it seems very popular. There are large North American districts which have all of their teachers using this, and so I would question the size of their server. I've been testing out the elapsed time between myself putting in the grades and, say, Fred logging in and checking them, and they averaged anything between 20 to 45 minutes. So I will stand by the banner. I will absolutely use Engrade this year. I do suggest that you tell your parents to have a specific day or a specific time period that they do check on the grades. That way they're not continuously logging in and the grades aren't there yet. Better yet, you could actually just say, wait for my email. I will tell you between every 7 and 10 days, something like that. I'll give you an email letting you know that the grades are ready to be seen. So with that in mind, you would definitely want to create the username and passwords for all the students. That way you can just go ahead and test from the student/parent point of view if those grades are ready to be seen. Now, if you have any doubts about Engrade and you're a little upset and you're like, well, I'm not going to do that. I don't like the sound of all those negative emails from my parents about, you got us for this thing. You know how it is. I will be putting a small video on the Web 2.0 forum regarding the, I'd say, more user-friendly, less stylistic approach to online grade reports that I'm currently using. I've been using for quite a while, so please check that out. This is the first in the series of Technology Web 2.0 that I will absolutely be using for the next school year. Thank you for joining, and I hope you check out the next one.